Good morning. It's Tuesday, April 21st. We're looking at the S&P 500, and I actually have yesterday's prices loaded here, and we're just going to run through yesterday, review that here real quick. So basically, to start off, we had the open right here, and we said that we could bounce a bit, and we certainly did get that bounce. And then we switched. We said maybe midway between these we could bounce up to here, but really wouldn't want to come any higher than that. Midway up here was 43. We said let's not really come any higher. We broke that. We said that opened up. We could go much higher. It was a breakout, but it wasn't a full-on reversal. So we broke to 63 quarters. We pulled back here, put in a new high at 58, put in a new high at 49, and then we started to get that selling. Now if you remember Friday, we said let's go look here. Maybe it's in there. It's not that one. So Friday we had, here we go. So if you see here, this was from yesterday. Don't be surprised to see 27.86 or more. And that was at noon. And then I reposted it just as a reminder that they were not done selling yet. So come back here, but Friday, the timing has been a little bit different this week. It's taken a little longer at times. So okay, so don't be surprised if we see 27.50 today. And that was at Friday at 10:40. So basically a couple of things. On a bounce right here before the close, we said we could bounce back to 30, maybe 32, but much higher than that started to change things. Anyway, so they didn't do that. They bounced right here to 27.5 and then came down. Remember, we said 28.05 was the target. They came down to 04.25, and then they bounced a bit from there. Big surprise, they bounced back to key turns and then sold off a bunch from there. This was 86.25, so they sold off from there. And then we're going to switch over to today's prices. And what did we get? We got a probe down here to this, through this KP. We eventually came back and held the CP, and would you look at that, the low so far is 27.50, but only to the tick. So then we bounce here. Now what's the rest of today going to look like? Well, we could easily see a bounce back up into this area at the key turn level at 82. Maybe we could give that to 85 area, and then anything more above that would bring in some more bouncing, at least back up into here, and then above here would be another breakout for back up into this area. And we'll just kind of take that one at a time if we come into a scenario like that. But for now, we could bounce back up, and let's say if we got above this 27.66 area, so for sure above here, for sure above this 69 area, so probably above 60, above 66, but for sure above 69 brings in more bounce back up into these areas. So it doesn't mean it's a reversal, but it, just more bouncing. Basically from 69, very possibly 82, 85, and then above that back up into here. And then on this side, we should at least, on the next leg down, we should at least get this CP, very possibly this CP. Then depending on how weak it is, we could see that kind of stall things out a bit. And then this is really the next, that's really the next area we're looking for. So here, and then that below that would open up this. Now, I don't know if we'll get all that today. It just depends on how weak things are. And if we get all of that today, or it might be into the Globex, we'll just see how all that goes. But, we'll pay attention to that as it's happening. But for now, likely a little bit of bouncing. And then another leg down, maybe a little more bouncing on the open. It'll just depend on how that all works out. And then I'll be active in the room, and we'll get what there is to get, and we'll be flexible. And I'll see you in the live trade room.